welcome in to the Seth Floyd Show. I'm your host, Seth Floyd Hansen, and 49er fans, we're going to get through it. I promise. I promise this season will come to an end eventually, okay? There's still a glimmer of hope, depending on who you ask, okay? But we got a tough one coming up this week, okay? You got 49ers at the Bills. Bills are favored by -7. Some of them I've seen is 6.5. Regardless, it is the biggest underdog the 49ers have been in a few years, okay? This is only last week was the first time they were underdogs since 2022. Excuse me. So different times right now in 49er land, different times under the Shanahan era that we're not real used to, not since like 2020. So we got to adjust. Maybe we have to adjust our focus, our expectations. It's hard to do. It's hard to do when we've been spoiled these last handful of years, especially after last year, just dominating teams, being favored by a touchdown or more every game it felt like, even on the road. Just tough, man. This is what the rest of the NFL feels like, I guess. And it sucks. And it sucks. Now, let's look at this week, okay? I'm not here to give you a 30-second video telling you they can't win and it's game over and have a good day. That's not why I'm here, okay? I'm here to look for ways that they could possibly win. Spoiler alert, I don't think they're going to win. I'll give you that, but I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible for a handful of reasons, okay? So let's dive into them. First, it sounds like Brock is going to be back. I'm recording this Tuesday night. By the time you watch it, you could get more news. Okay, you probably won't know for sure if Brock is going to play until Friday, maybe. But if Brock practices tomorrow, like they expect, so they said on Monday he threw light throwing session, no pain. If he goes to practice tomorrow, is able to get in a limited session, he's playing. He's going to play. Unless there's a setback. But if he throws, as long as there's no setback and he has a limited practice, he's going to play. The MRI didn't show any damage. It sounds like things were just like bruised and aggravated, and they just needed it to calm down and not be so inflamed, is my guess. I'm not a doctor, but I can talk doctor talk a little bit.
What? Oh, I'm not a doctor.
He's a real doctor.
A few knee surgeries, played a little football, so I know about it. So I think he's going to play. The problem with doing this video on Tuesday is because I have no idea what the deal is with Trent Williams and Nick Bosa. If I had to take an educated guess, I think Trent will play because he was like kind of a game time decision. He played against Seattle when he was like hobbling around and whatever. He didn't play great in that game, but I don't remember him playing terrible, if I'm being honest. I don't remember him specifically in that game. And then last week tried to be a game time decision, couldn't make it happen. So my guess is he's fairly close and has a chance to play, probably play. After a week of getting treatment and staying off it, he's probably going to play, if I had to put money on it. I think Bosa is out again. I don't think he's playing. I think he's got like 2 oblique injuries. I know he wants to play. The Niners obviously want him to play. But I don't think they're going to rush him back because what are you without him? Like if he has to, and the season maybe is a wash anyway, but if he's down for the rest of the year, you have to IR him, then it definitely, any little hope you have left is completely gone. And maybe the Niners just feel like, look, we're probably not going to beat him even at full strength, so let's just rest him, okay? So my guess is he doesn't play. People are freaking out about Dre Greenlaw. I don't know. I know that they're saying they opened his practice window. He's going to practice on Wednesday. Great. I don't think he plays. I don't think he's going to play this week. On the road, in the cold like that, I don't think they're going to play him. That is a major, it's like the worst injury you can have these days outside of the heaven forbid catastrophic like spine injury or something. You can't, the Achilles is such a monster to come back from. He only tore it in November. Hasn't even been a year yet. I think he's not going to play this week. I think he has a chance the next week against the Bears, but I don't think he'll play this week. I don't think so. Could be wrong. I'm excited if he comes back because he'll be better than Devondre Campbell, but he's going to be like 80% of what he was. He's not even a year out from the surgery and the recovery. He's not going to be 100%. Going into next season, he has a chance to look like he was in 2023, but he will not this season. But the good news is 80% of Dre Greenlaw is better than 100% of Devondre Campbell, in my opinion. So they'll probably put him on a pitch count if he plays, like whatever. He's not going to be a game record like he was the first game he's back. That's just my take. okay? So those are my guesses on the injury front. Maybe I should have waited to get some official, but I think Brock plays, Trent probably plays, Bosa, I'd be shocked if Dre Greenlaw plays. Hope I'm wrong. The Bills. Let's talk about the Bills for a quick second. 8-2. Their biggest win of the year is over the Chiefs. Okay, fantastic. That big win nullifies any dumb losses that they have. Okay, they only have 2 losses. Got smoked by the Ravens on Sunday Night Football, like week 4, week 5. And then they lost a game to the Texans, I believe. They've almost lost to the Jets, almost had some close games with the Dolphins. So the Dolphins are playing better now, but whatever. The point is the Bills, who I have self-proclaimed, like, I have 2 second favorite teams, which is dumb. I don't make an appointment to watch them. If they're on, I root for them, and that's the Bills and the Chargers. I really like Josh Allen. I really like Jim Harbaugh. A lot of 49er fans, you know what I'm talking about. The Bills are very hot and cold. If the Bills come out and play their best game, you're going to lose. But if the Bills are going to do what they do like 50% of the time, like, you'll have a chance. I don't know what Niner team is going to show up, but it's more than a 0% chance that you could beat them if they're not playing their best game. And here's why they potentially could play less than 100% or less than their best. Okay, so how do the 49ers win? How do the Bills play less than their best game of 2024? Well, there's a few. One, they just had a huge emotional win over the Chiefs. Okay, that was 2 weeks ago now. Wow, this is Tuesday, but you get my point. They had a bye week. Huge emotional win over the Chiefs. That was like their Super Bowl. Not really, but that's the biggest game on their schedule. That's the one you circle. Everyone does because it's the Chiefs. And they beat them. So maybe they come down a little bit. Maybe that pressure is off a little bit and they relax a little bit. That's a possibility. I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying it's possible. 49er fans, I'm giving you reasons to hope. Reasons like, if these are the storylines, if the 49ers at the end of that game, the final whistle, the 49ers have won, these are the things that people will talk about. Bills fans will talk about, 49ers fans will talk about, whatever. The media, okay, they'll say, the Bills just beat the Chiefs and like it was just a letdown. They're not going to play amazing every single game. Okay, fine. As a 49er fan, I don't care how they win. Just want them to win. Second thing, there's snow in the forecast. I've seen different things, but there's reports right now that there's some snow in Buffalo. At least there's going to be snow that week. Right now, when I last looked, it said it wasn't going to snow Sunday, but it's going to snow like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So like there's a chance it will creep in and show up on Sunday. Why does that matter? Well, you might say, the 49ers, like, they're from California, they're not going to play well in the snow. The truth is the underdog, the worst team, it always helps the worst team. It always, because the game is just going to be tighter. The game is just going to be closer if there's weather involved. It's just like in 2019, is this the best example? I don't know. In 2019, you had 49ers playing the Redskins, who were terrible. They were still the Redskins back then, by the way. So that's what I'm calling them. They weren't the Commanders yet. They were bad. But it was a monsoon, and the 49ers won that game 9-0. And no one thought like the Redskins were that good. It just was like, well, the weather just impacts you. You can't move the ball very well. It just makes a tight game. So that would benefit the 49ers, I think for sure. You'll limit Josh Allen's arm a little bit. Like, they can run the ball really well. I get that. But like, it's just going to make the game closer. That's what it would do. It's going to be cold regardless. We'll see how the Niners fare. And then kind of my last thing is, there's two more. The Bills are coming off a bye, and the bye does like one of two things, it feels like. You either come back well-rested, 49er fans. You know, last year the 49ers lost 3 in a row, went on their bye, came back and just freaking housed the Jaguars in Jacksonville by 30 points or whatever it was. The rest did them a lot of good. But sometimes the bye has the opposite effect. For teams that have like won multiple games in a row, and then they hit the bye, and all of a sudden like their momentum and their groove, like they lose it for a week. Like look at the Cardinals. The Cardinals had won 4 in a row. They'd beaten the Chargers, Jets, Bears, and I don't know who else. I can't remember, but they'd beaten someone else too. They'd won 4 in a row. They come off a bye, play a Seattle team that, whatever, I guess they had some momentum because they beat the 49ers. But they looked bad. It wasn't like a shootout, hard-fought, great game. It was like they didn't look very good. They couldn't get anything going on offense. They lost the game 16-6. Feels like they got out of their groove maybe just a little bit, okay? I'm not saying this is likely. I'm just saying it's possible. I'm saying if the 49ers win, if the Bills play bad and the 49ers win, like that's going to be a talking point in the media. They'll be like, well, maybe the bye just threw them off their groove a little bit and they've kind of got to find their mojo again. Happens all the time. Happens. So 49er fans, it's almost a good thing that they're coming off a bye. Like maybe that throws a wrench into what they normally do and guys just aren't ready. I don't know. And then lastly, this is the number one talking point if the 49ers pull off this win. Because they'll get a lot of credit. People will make some excuses for the Bills, right or wrong, but the 49ers will get a lot of credit. This was the last-ditch desperation effort from the 49ers. I thought you were going to get it last week. I guess Brock being out, Trent and Bosa being out, like all of that just was too much for them to give that last-ditch effort. And you kind of saw it. You kind of saw it in the second quarter and third quarter, but it just was going to be too much for them to overcome. So I still think you're going to see it. I think you're either going to see it in this Bills game or you'll see it in that Lions game, assuming that you're not eliminated at that point. I'm on record saying the division is so bad, you'll still be in it going into week 17. You'll have to win those last two games, but you'll still be in it. And so I think you're going to get that last-ditch effort, that desperation, we're going to play the best game of the year. Because they have not played a single game for all four quarters of good football. They haven't done that one time this year. They did it like 15, no, I shouldn't say that. They did it like 12 of the 17 games last year. They won 12 of them, and they were really good in most of those games. They haven't done it one time this season where they played four quarters. Against the Rams, the Seahawks the second time, the Cardinals, they played 3 quarters or 3.5. And some of these other games, even games they won, the Jets, the Patriots, okay, some of these other ones, the Bucks, like not full 4 quarters. At some point, you're going to get a game where they play a full 4 quarters before the year is done. Hopefully, it's this week. Now, even if you play a full 4 quarters, if the Bills are playing their best game, you're probably not beating them. That would be my guess. I don't think you have enough firepower to beat them on their best day, but there's a handful of things that could throw a wrench in that for them, okay? Keys to the game. If you're going to win, these are, aside from those factors that could cause the Bills to play bad, you got to win the turnover battle. That's basically every week, man. But when you're playing a team that's better than you, it's a must. At the very least, you have to go 0-0. I don't even think you can match like 1 for 1 because it's more likely they'll get a turnover and score a touchdown and you get a turnover and you won't do anything with it, okay? I think it's at least got to be 0-0. Don't give them a short field. But you got to win the turnover battle. Can you get to Josh Allen once or twice? Can you have a tip ball interception? Can we do something like that? He's protected the ball really well this year, so it's going to be tough, but you got to win the turnover battle, okay? Second, you have got to run the ball better than what it's been. I don't care what some of these metrics say. We've not, especially these last 2 weeks, you've not run the ball well at all. I'm seeing over and over and over again, you are seeing stops and stalemates at the line of scrimmage. You are seeing 2nd and long. You are seeing 3rd and long. What you are seeing right now is you're seeing a first down run where you get anywhere from 1 yard to 2 yards, sometimes no yards. So then 2nd and 10, you have to throw the ball. It's incomplete pass, and now it's 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 8. And that is what you're consistently seeing. Last year, running the ball, you saw them go first down, 5 or 6 yard carry, 2nd down, 4 yard carry, and then it's 3rd and 1. And it was consistently either a first down on 2nd down or it was 3rd and really manageable because you were just getting a push on the line. And they have not done that this year. That is what I'm talking about when the run game isn't the same. Because if the run game was the same, the offense would score more points. I promise you that's what it is. I promise you. The other side of it is receivers aren't getting they're not getting open, not getting separation in man coverage. But part of the reason that they're playing so much man coverage like that is because they're stopping the run. Nobody has to suck up. No one has to suck up because like last year you had teams sucking up a bunch, okay, playing play action. They're trying to come downhill to stop the run, leaving guys wide open. This year, the defensive line is really having their way. Linebackers can be more patient. You don't have guys being open. They're playing more man coverage, and I'm telling you it all stems because the run game is not as consistent. Yes, they break off a 10 to 12 yard run every now and then, okay? But I've said this before, the runs look like 1 yard gain, 2 yard gain, 1 yard gain, 8 yard gain, 1 yard loss, 2 yard loss, 1 yard gain, 12 yard gain. Like fine, it averages out because you have a couple 10 yard gains in there, but on a consistent basis, you're putting yourself in 3rd and long, and you can't do it that way. I would take consistent 5 yard gains over 0 yards, and then a 10 yard gain. because you're going to set up the rest of your offense. You can't just look at raw numbers, whatever. That's on my tangent. I had some people disagreeing with me on that. And lastly, you've got to score TDs and not field goals. You've got to find a way to get in the end zone, okay? Because that's what it's going to come down to. It's probably not a very high-scoring game, assuming the defense knows how to tackle. I assume the defense has their best tackling game this week because any good coach worth their salt is going to beat it into their skulls all week that was the most embarrassing performance we've ever seen. So I expect them to tackle well. I expect it to be a lower-scoring game because of the weather, which means whoever can score 2 touchdowns probably wins the game. If you can score 2 touchdowns, kick a field goal, and put up 17 points, there's a good chance you'll win. And the team that kicks 2 field goals, or 3 field goals, it's tough. You got to find a way to get in the end zone. This is my thought on it. Okay, I don't know if you agree with me, but I hope you do. Or if you don't, let me know. Comment. Let me know what you guys think. The comments are the best. Okay, I will respond to your comments as long as they're relevant to what we're talking about and they are not, getting personal, making fun of how I look and crap. Which happens. I am funny looking. So fine, that's fine, but let's focus on the Niners. I think, this is my official prediction, I think the 49ers play a lot better than they did last week. It's hard to play worse. I do think you're going to see them play a lot better. I also think they're going to lose. I'm sorry to say. I think they're going to lose, okay? I think we're going to feel better about the game, but I think the Bills are going to have too much firepower. So I'm going to say the Bills cover. I think they win 23-14. Okay, 23-14. I do think they're going to score 2 touchdowns. Probably a Jake Moody missed field goal or 2 in the weather. Okay, I'll give them a little bit of a break. And I just think the Bills are going to score 2 touchdowns and kick 2 field goals. I think that's what it comes down to. I hope I'm wrong. Look, if you lose, it's not completely dead in the water, though it kind of is. The division is bad. You could theoretically see all of these teams, all the NFC West teams lose this weekend. Okay, you've got Cardinals playing the Vikings. That's probably an L. They're playing in Minnesota. That's probably an L. You've got Seattle playing the Jets. The Jets are not good, but they're playing in New York. And I've said this before, they're a bad team, but they're a good roster, which means every once in a while they're going to play pretty well. They wouldn't beat the Chiefs on any given day, but they could beat the Seahawks on any given day. Especially because they're at home. So you never know. And then the Rams are playing the Saints, the Rams just got beat up on Sunday Night Football. The Saints have had a couple pretty good, valiant efforts, so you never know. All the NFC West teams could lose, and then we're all in the same position going into week 13. 13? Is this week 12? 13? Whatever. You guys get my point. I think it's week 14, actually. Whatever. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Please like the video, subscribe, comment, ask me questions, tell me what you think. Everything helps. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. And holy crap, we're in for a ride. I don't know if it's a good one, but go Niners. I'm out.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Peter, are you listening?
Slime on me now.